What's going on, friends? It's Anton Daniels, and I gotta have a conversation with you guys about Teach Henley because you see how the sun is hitting me. This is no finesse, no makeup, no filters, no none of that. This is 100% Teach Henley. I use it in the morning as soon as I get up, right after I pray and brush my teeth, jump in the shower, and I'm hitting the streets because you never get a second chance to make a first impression. So even though they're giving you 40% off your first order, 20% off for life, even though you may get a free gift, forget all that, right? Because we would do this even if it was full price because it's worth that much. I'm in the streets, I'm kicking it with people, and I see Dusties everywhere. You don't want to be them. You want to separate yourself. And the way that you separate yourself is self care. Ladies get it for the fellas. Fellas don't wait for the ladies to get it for you. I'm about to hit the streets right now, and I'm feeling confident. I'm feeling great. I mean, I already got confidence, but to have that extra boost of confidence, knowing that you've taken care of yourself and you set yourself apart from all of the rest of the sheep that's walking around making bad decisions on a daily basis. And it's reflected in their actions. It's reflected in the products that they use. It's reflected in the people that they follow. And so if you're trying to level up, if you're trying to make sure that you look good, they're going to send you the pack. They're going to give you all of the instructions on how you're supposed to use it. Then make sure you get your Teach Henley. Again, 40% off your first order, 20% off for life. Get your free gift. Make sure you tap in with your boy Anton Daniels because Unc is never going to lead you wrong. I would never have you use a product that I don't use myself. Again, they've been rocking with me for a long time. Make sure you get your Teach Henley. I love you. I appreciate you. I'm going to holler at you guys later. What's going on is Anton from AntonDaniels.com. I appreciate you guys for continuing to rock with me. Thank you for tuning in for another edition of the Millionaire Morning Show. I am your host, Anton Daniels. What up, what up, what up, what up, what up? I said, do Anton wear Crocs? Hell no, I wear Yeezy slides. I wear Yeezy slides, homie. You don't even know how to wear a hoodie properly until you're able to take your hoodie off without messing up your glasses and your hat. I think Detroit beat Denver yesterday, didn't they? We won again. Detroit won again. What up, though? What's going on, friends and families? I appreciate y'all. Hell no, I ain't never wearing no Crocs. I need my Rolex. Give me a second. I miss my Rolex. Heck no, I ain't never wearing no Crocs. No, no, no. No, 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 no. No Crocs for me. What up, though? What up, what up, what up? I love you too. Thank you for loving my show because I love you more. Thank you for loving my show because I love you more. Yeah. Yeah. What's happening, friends and family? I appreciate y'all. We in the building. I see you, Bitcoin Brown, your car. AD, we watching the battle scene on 8 Mile. Interesting assessment. Virginia bill removes mandatory minimum sentences for rape and child pornography convictions. What up, though? Live from Washington State. Weather is warm over here, says Joseph Christie. What up, Joe Gunn? Azriel. Keisha said, what's good? Everything is good. Henry June, shout out to you. What up? What's up, Keita? Your car in the building. Miss Crochetti, what up, though? Pat Gigattainment, Will Nola, hardest working man on YouTube. I try to be Terrible People podcast. Quasar say, yes, sir, ski. What up, Quasar? Lex, I see you. I'm going to read those super chats shortly. What's going on, family and friends, says Mr. Doucet. Is that Doucet? Duquette? Yes. What up? What up? What up? What up? Anton, did you hear about TikToker KB $975 million deal? I did not. Is that something that I should look up? Time Dog, I still rock with you, says Majestic James. Why wouldn't you rock with me? Why wouldn't you rock with me? I'm hotter than I ever been. I'm hotter than I ever been. I am gaining motion and traction more than ever before. Who was it that was quoted? They say, never let a good scandal, something like that. Who was that? It was like a quote on that. I got my new AirPods. I lost the other ones when I was out of town. I don't know how I lost the other ones. When I was coming from was it Los Angeles? So I had to order some new pros. So we here. It is Wednesday, January 28th, 2025, year of our Lord. Norm Southside Tony says AD is my new crush and he's gay. I can't control what people that is a part of the alphabet community do. I would just say repent. Change your ways. Yeah, let me get my new AirPods in. See if they work. Okay, we here. I don't know if I like the sound of it. I like the transparent. Listening mode off, noise cancellation. Transparency. Adaptive. Nah, I like transparency mode. He's saying that Ilhan Omar's attack was staged. Never let a good crisis go to waste, says Winston Churchill. I agree with that 100%. All right, let me see what I can do. Let me first acknowledge the people. Can y'all hear me good? Oh, wait, let me make sure that I got this right. Can y'all hear me good? Let me know if y'all can hear me good while I read off these super chats and cash apps. Mike, that dude said Amazon ain't going nowhere. Keeping my Rivian. Yeah, that's one way to look at it. All right, cool. Y'all can hear me perfectly. First time connecting says Lathon Bursey. What up, Lathon? I appreciate you. Antonio Carter says, because of you, I decided to go to college for cybersecurity. Shout out to you, my friend. I appreciate you. I'm glad that you're listening. Nerds is up. Heather says, I rebuke that baby daddy mindset. Spencer Campbell, what up, says good morning to AD and the Bag Chasers. Mike, that dude, said, what up to the Bag Chasers? What up? And then I got to acknowledge the super chats. We got a little bit of housekeeping to get to, but we're going to get to that. Let me first put on the Rose Gold. Rolly in the building. Malachi. What up, Malachi Andrew? I appreciate you, Malachi, for holding me down. Thank you, my friend. Lex. What up, Lex? Lex says you the king, AD. Big Daddy YouTube. What up, Lex? I talked to Lex this morning. I said, Lex, we got to figure this out, baby girl. We got to figure this out, Lex. You know what I'm saying? Talked to her this morning. Was on the phone with Lex this morning. She said, good morning, AD. I said, good morning, Lex. Just a Brown Girl in America says, good morning, Bookie Butts. Be good on purpose. TT, love y'all. What up, though? Just a Brown Girl in America. Jeremy Clay says, never let a good crisis go to waste. That was Winston Churchill. LeBrack says, salute, King. Salute to LeBrack. I appreciate you, big dog. Thank you for holding me down. All right, so we got a lot of stuff that we got to cover. Trump talk shooting. Let me see what all is going on out in these streets. Pistons beat the Denver Nuggets. J. Cole dropped the mixtape pack. There's a lot going on in these streets. There's a lot going on in these streets. Yes, J. Cole did drop a mixtape. So, I never reviewed the Sebastian Telfair conversation where he was saying that that he made 20 million, but it wasn't enough. So we got to cover that. See what else is happening out here in these streets. Ilhan Omar. And it's too much happening out here. Too much happening. Man arrested. All right, we gonna get there. We gonna get there. They got autonomous snowblowers. All kind of stuff happening out here in these streets. All right, y'all ready to get started with the show? All right, first things first, housekeeping. Housekeeping. All right, housekeeping. Live stream tonight on Patreon. Spoke to, man, I've been on the phone with everybody this morning. I was on the phone with my trademark attorneys. So trademark attorneys, going through that. Got a lot going on. All of this different stuff that's happening. We gonna get there. We're going to get there. Live stream tonight on the Patreon. If you're not a part of the Patreon, link is in the description. Teach Henley 40% on the off your first order, 20% off for life. What up, K Cooper says, what up, Anton and the Chasers? Just showing love, driving to North Carolina to see my mom. Oh, okay. Well, then that means that you locked in. That means you locked in for the next 3 hours, 2.5 and 3 hours. All right. All right. We're going to get there. We're going to get there. Y'all ready to get it popping? Oh. I'm working on some new shows too. Just wanted to let y'all know that. I'm working on some new shows. And on my new shows for the Room 9 channel, and I might be adding some stuff, right? I might be adding some stuff over here to the Millionaire Morning Show. I heard what y'all said about wanting to do breakfast. I'll be wanting to do breakfast in person. But I'm locked in. We'll figure it out. So I'm going to keep y'all in the loop on that. Good morning, Bag Chasers and chat. How y'all doing today? Says they call me Mr. Bibbs. What up, Mr. Bibbs? All right, y'all. I want to get to this Ilhan Omar situation first. Border Patrol, Sebastian Telfair, Ilhan Omar, Minneapolis Police. It's the best one. So we'll roll with that one. Video. Y'all keep me on point for how many your car keep on trying to get on me, trying to make it seem like I don't cover all of the stories because I'll be getting distracted. And this is the Millionaire Distraction Show. But we gonna get there. All right, we gonna get there. So Ilhan Omar was attacked.
Of the agency. ICE cannot be reformed. It cannot be rehabilitated. We must abolish ICE for good.
So this is the guy, right? The guy that's going to attack her is right there in the front. You can see him right there. Let me rewind it because I never really paid attention to him before that.
Abolishment of the agency. ICE cannot be reformed. It cannot be rehabilitated.
See him with the black coat on right there to her left, our right.
That's the person that's going to attack her.
We must abolish ICE for good. And DHS Secretary Kristi Noem must resign or face impeachment. And DHS Secretary Kristi Noem must resign or face impeachment.
So let me ask a question, right? Because I got a couple different ways that I'm going to approach this. When I look at this, right, the first time that I seen it, which I did a reaction video to, which I dropped it on the Anton Daniels channel. When I first seen this and when I first reacted to it, my initial thoughts were, oh man, I don't like this. I don't like when anybody get attacked. And I still stand on that, right? I still stand on the fact that if it is something that is real, because I don't want to absolve that whole thing. I know that people that hate Ilhan Omar is going to, by default, say that it is fake. And we're going to talk about that, all right? But if this is in fact real, then I don't support under any circumstances anybody getting something sprayed on them. They saying that it was a mace, that it could have been like a fart spray or something like that it smelled horrible. I don't know. Either way, if it is real, I do not agree with nor do I support anybody getting attacked, whether you are on the left or whether you are on the right. I think it takes away from the conversation. It actually puts us back and sets us back. All of that stuff, right? So I don't like it. I don't think that it's cool. I don't any of that. But I'm also looking at this, right? Because we got to look at it from all angles. When I started looking at it this morning, because initially I did the reaction video yesterday, right? And then I drove into the studio this morning and I was looking at this video and I was trying to figure out, is this real or is this fake? Is it real or is it fake? Now, we don't want to jump to conclusions, but we want to give our perspective, right? So how do we evaluate whether it's real or it's fake? Well, the first thing that I want to look at is him. I'm looking at him and I'm looking at her. Because to the untrained eye, when you first see this, you're looking at their reaction, oh my God, you get worried for her. Why they ain't tackle him sooner, whatever, so on and so forth, right? Now, the second thing I start to look at is, why is she running towards him? Because when he first sprayed her, she did look surprised. She did jump back a little bit like, oh. And then her initial instinct, which I don't really think that most women's initial instinct is to charge towards a person. But then again, the security tackled her or tackled him. So maybe she felt froggy and she wanted to leap, right? Let me rewind it a little bit. So this is the moment that he gets up. Now she gonna jump back. She did jump back. She did. She jumped back straight up. All right. Then as they continued, for whatever reason, now look, if y'all looking at this, look at the audience too. Black man in the front, people in the front, everybody just kind of slow motion. I don't know if they shocked. The only lady that you can tell or that you can see that it seems like she got her hands over her mouth is the lady that's in the second row with this bluish purplish sweater on. But everybody else is kind of just sitting back. Black man in the front is sitting back. Everybody just kind of chilling a little bit. But again, this is initially in the thing. Somebody says, AD, if you go back 10 more seconds, she looks straight at him. He's in the front row. So I'm not going to take that into consideration because you speak to when you're talking to people and when you're doing public speaking, you speak to the people that's in the front row. So I'm not going to take that into consideration. I'm just going to say what it is. But let's continue to play the video and we're going to see her charge him. Now, is she charging him because she sees the other guy now tackling him or what? Why does she put up her fist? Let me let the whole thing play out and then we're going to come back.
Abolishment of the agency. ICE cannot be reformed. It cannot be rehabilitated. We must abolish ICE for good. And DHS Secretary Kristi Noem must resign or face impeachment. I don't know.
Oh my God, he sprayed something on her.
I need a napkin to know nothing. No, we will continue.
No. Ilhan, you need to go get checked. No,
we will continue. These fucking assholes are not going to get away with it.
you need to go get checked. No, I don't know what he did. No. That's whatever it is smells so bad. She needs to go get checked. I don't know
that's
what that
that's
was.
what they want. Please don't let them have
It's
it.
not about him, Ilhan. Ilhan, it's not about him. It's about your safety. No, he sprayed something on you. You need to go get checked. Yeah, and it smells terrible.
We're going to keep talking. Just give me 10 minutes. Just give me 10 minutes. I beg you. Please don't let them have the show. 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 Here is the reality that people like this ugly man don't understand. We are Minnesota strong, and we will stay resilient in the face of whatever they might throw at us. Everybody settle down. I'm going to finish my remarks. It is important for me to continue to lead my Democratic colleagues in demanding her resignation.
Breaking news.
You need to go get checked. Yeah, and it smells terrible.
We're going to keep talking. Just give me 10 minutes. Just give me 10 minutes. I beg you. Please don't let them have the show. Please don't let them have the show. Please don't let them have the show. Please don't let them have the show.
So again, I'm going to extend grace, but what is this? Please don't let them have the show thing. So wait a minute. You're telling me that you're so concerned about whether or not people are going to steal the show from you that, because I mean, it does from all optics seem like her fight moment. It does from all optics seem like, oh man, she's being persecuted, but she's standing up tall. And of course, I know that there's going to be people that's on the left that is going to support her, and they're going to say, man, you guys, we can't let this happen, all of that type of stuff, right? So let me see. Let me just see what the sentiment is. MS. I don't really hear them talking about it.
Country's foreign ministry is now confirming that story. We will work to find out more. New York Times is reporting that a federal judge here, Jacob Fry. Now, MS Now senior political analyst Alex Wagner, also the host of Runaway Country podcast. That's a very, very scary moment that we just saw in that town hall. She appears to be fine, but there's just something, given everything that's happened over the last few weeks.
Given where we're standing.
Juxtaposition. Like that moment of someone coming at.
Yeah, I think it.
Why wouldn't you go get checked out? You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't know what that is. You don't know if it's some kind of poison, if it's some kind of acid, or any of that type of stuff. Like, what is with all of this? Yo, we're gonna stand up and be tough. I'm not gonna let them have the show. That's like, it just don't make sense to me. That's all I'm saying.
It's at a moment where people, especially on the outside of Minneapolis, are trying to calibrate how they feel about the moment.
Why did all of the camera people get up and start taking pictures of the guy instead of making sure that she was okay? So everybody just ran up and started taking pictures?
On one level, the incredible citizen.
How come ain't nobody panicking the way they need to be panicking?
And resistance to ICE and the tactics of MAGA world in terms of marginalizing and terrorizing and punishing black and brown people in this country, that has been extraordinary. And it has resulted in certain gains, like the president of the United States maybe vaguely acknowledging that it's not good to be doing this.
Weird.
We're going to de-escalate a little bit.
Whatever that, but the truth is the situation on the ground remains dire.
Yeah.
That's an elected representative from this state being accosted at best, maybe a failed attack at worst, in a moment when de-escalation is the order of the day. You know, the fear that is in people's hearts and minds is very real, and it is not abating anytime soon, especially when you see stuff like that.
I think the reason that people have been looking to this place with a lot of hope is because whatever else is happening, the White House is on tilt.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, they are on tilt.
Totally.
Like, fully today, they've sent it home.
Border czar Tom Homan holding a productive meeting with Minneapolis Mayor Jacob Fry yesterday as the Trump administration works to
Nome to resign.
Matt Finn joins us live in Minneapolis with the very latest details. Good morning, Matt.
Good morning, Griff. This was the Congresswoman's first town hall of the year, and identified as Anthony James Kasmerchak and walked him out of the room. He was charged with third-degree assault. Now, the frightening incident happened shortly after border czar Tom Homan announced he had meetings with Governor Walz and Minneapolis Mayor Fry here in Minnesota yesterday. Homan writing, "Today I met with Governor Walz, Mayor Fry, and top law enforcement officials. There's their immigration law."
We'll see what happens. And President Trump has opened the door to try and get back to the core mission of ICE of removing illegal criminal.
So this is the guy that sprayed her. He's being charged with something third degree, whatever, blah, 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 blah. All right. So what do y'all think about this? Because I'm kind of on the fence. And the reason that I'm on the fence is because I know what my instincts may be telling me, but my instincts could be wrong, right? Meaning that it's a possibility that he very well could have been a person that wanted to spray her with whatever it is, fart spray or whatever, right? And so we can't ignore that. We can't remove that from the possibility of what if. We have to make sure that we cover all bases and we allow for grace. We can't remove that out of it. All right. I don't know why she wouldn't go to the hospital. I don't know why, they wouldn't take her sweater because she's a congressperson. So they should take her sweater and they should evaluate it to find out what the substance is and then go and figure it out from there. Somebody says, Anton, I'm not as naive as you are. I'm not naive at all. Who said that I was naive? All I'm saying is I'm not going to completely remove it. we a lot of times are unable to check our bias at the door. Okay. So what happens a lot of times with that is that we're automatically leaning towards, oh man, you know what? This might be staged or whatever. And that's a fair assessment. I think that all assessments should be vetted effectively. But you can't not say, or you can't say that, oh man, I still want to leave open the possibility that it may have been real. Because if it is real, we don't want to absolve people from holding themselves accountable. All right. All I'm saying is I'm trying to check my bias at the door while also considering the possibilities. I wouldn't call that naive. I would call that being cool. That's what I would call. I would say wait and see. I can give my opinion on what the optics look like. It's a little weird. And then I can also say, well, I don't know what's happening. We're going to see what's going on. I don't operate in the echo chamber, Trill. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to give my honest assessment of the situation. Make sure you guys hit a like for the algorithm, subscribe to the channel, and turn on your notifications. All right? Let me read some of what y'all got going on. Nanak World says salute and support. Shout out to you. I appreciate you. TS Car Wash and Detail Service says thoughts on Tracy Morgan's homeless situation.
The man by first saying, I remember you.
What's up? I remember you. Don't talk to me like I owe you something. I didn't say that. Boy, did I get something? No. When we was younger. Yeah, but I think I forgot. I'm homeless, boy. So what that got to do with me? I ain't do that. Yeah. Take care of my kids. Can I get a picture of my sister?
Now, Tracy's abrupt.
Now, a lot of people are saying that the guy is homeless, that he was asking Tracy Morgan after the Knicks game for some money. And I also seen a bunch of other people that was replying and saying stuff about it and saying Tracy Morgan was insensitive. Let's get the sentiment of the people.
Video of comedian Tracy Morgan. He's outside and people are surrounding him for autographs and people are talking to him, taking pictures with him, and some old friend or old foes talking to him like Tracy Morgan owes him something because he has more. And Tracy Morgan's like, don't talk to me like I owe you something. And then the guy's like, I'm homeless, man. Let me hold something. Can I hold something? And Tracy Morgan looks back and goes, what's that got to do with me? I didn't cause that. That's the exact facts. Tracy Morgan said, I take care of my kids. You are responsible for you. Just because somebody used to know you and they're more successful than you, they don't owe you. They don't owe you anything. They don't have to give you nothing. It's your life. You need to be accountable for you. And that video just like spoke to me because that's how I feel with old friends and family.
All right. So that's one person's perspective. Let me see if I can find another person's perspective randomly. I don't know if it's a lot of people that are commenting on this and giving their thoughts.
We're always gonna ask.
Let's do this. Let's see what the people are saying in the different comments of this videos. All right. Let me see. Tracy Morgan. Let's see what the people are saying. Moral of the story, treat people how you want to be treated. I learned many years ago that people never forget how you make them feel. Let this be a lesson to all bullies. Had a friend who deleted themselves due to a bully, and I was in middle school. I can care less about a bully, and karma is good. Tracy don't owe that man anything. It's his decision if he wants to help or not. No one knows what he went through. Reminds me of the Michael B. Jordan interview with the lady. That's why they said, be careful how you treat people. You never know who they're going to become. My grandmother used to say, you have to reap what you sow. Don't matter. Trauma is trauma. I'm on Tracy's side. The guy didn't apologize to him. F him. Tracy's right. F him. You shouldn't wish bad things on the people, but you don't have to help them when they get their comeuppance. I'm homeless, so what they got to do with me is I ain't got nothing to do with that. Entitlement of people is crazy. I'm not helping my bully. Sorry, what planet are you on? Let this be a lesson. Now I'm hot. They all on me. People want to see folks get in situations like this because they want handouts themselves. He owes him nothing, and he didn't kick him while he was down. So let me ask y'all a question. Where are y'all getting that the guy is saying that he was being bullied? That's the part where I'm trying to understand. Why are y'all saying that he's saying that? Why are y'all saying that he's saying that?
Let's do it. Weird. What's up? Listen, I remember don't talk to me like I owe you something. I didn't say that. Hey, boy, can I get something, please? No. Hey, boy, can I get some food to eat? Don't talk to me like I owe you something. I didn't say that. Hey, boy, can I get something, please? No. When we was younger. Yeah, but I think I forgot when I was younger. When we was younger. When we was younger.
That's why they saying that he was a bully. He said that you talked that to me when we was younger. All right, now I get it. Because see, I needed to figure it out and find out why and where that was coming from, and why people were saying that that was his childhood bully. So first of all, I'm not taking that to be that was his childhood bully. All right. It might have just been a dude that he wasn't cool with. It might have been a person that he had beef with. It might have been a person that it might have been a bully. I don't know. But I'm not going to by default say that I was a bully. He just said you talked that shit to me when we was younger. That don't mean that you're getting bullied. All right. I hate when people add their own sauce to it, add their own words to it, try to make it out to be something that it's not. I don't like that, bro. I don't like that. Like, don't throw sauce on it. Don't sauce. But I mean, that's the media. That's what it is. That's what people say. That's how people gonna rock out. So people are going to sauce it up in order to try to make it more sensational, and then they get the clicks and views. That's how it goes. Again, I'm not a fan of how people sauce stuff up a little bit more. But that's just me. On the flip side of it, though, I don't think that Tracy Morgan owes that man anything. I don't think that Tracy Morgan owes him anything. I think that Tracy Morgan has the right to say no. He don't have to fuck with him just because he's homeless. He don't have to do any of that. I think that Tracy Morgan is justified in saying no. And here's the other part of it. Don't try to ask me in front of everybody so that you can try to make me out to seem like the bad guy. I think that this was a finesse on the other guy. Don't try to sauce me up and try to ask me in front of everybody trying to get your come up moment. I hate when people do that. I can't stand that. You know, it's funny with this whole situation with me and Corey Holcomb. It's taught me a lot about people. Not that I didn't already know about people, but it's taught me a lot about the nature of people, right? Because it's people that is coming out the woodworks. It's people that was on, maybe like you was on Fight Club 1 or 2 times. It's people that I ain't never seen before. I seen somebody in the comments say, yeah, I talked to his mom before. Where? Who? And it's like everybody is all of a sudden they know you. Now everybody used to know you. Now everybody know your background. Now everybody knew you when you. It's like, where are these people coming from? You know what I'm saying? People might have been on a panel once with you, but all of a sudden they know all about your life and all of this stuff. They had, oh man, he emailed me one time, and it's like, I don't know you niggas. I ain't never met y'all in person. You ain't never came to my crib. Who are you? And this is kind of the situation that I see with Tracy Morgan, in that he purposely came out of the blue to ask him that in front of everybody while he was signing autographs and coming out of the game in front of the cameras, because he was trying to get his come up. And I don't like that, bro. I don't like that. I don't like that. It's a lot of people, bro. It's chicks that Q recruited to be on the show on Monday night that I've never spoken to outside of being on the panel with them. And all of a sudden they know all about my life. And it's like, when the fuck they got, when they start knowing about me? Yeah, it's like I got cousins everywhere now all of a sudden. You know what I'm saying? Now everybody has a deep dive. And it's like, where was this deep dive before the blow up? You know what I'm saying? Where was the deep dive? Real talk. It's the weirdest thing ever. It is so weird. It is so weird, man. I told a couple people yesterday, I said, man, stay away from these panels. Stay away from these people, because the more that we blow up, the more that more they clout chase. And that's just the way that it is. That's just all of a sudden people know you, they do this, they do. I'm like, y'all wonder why I don't kick it with niggas. Y'all wonder why I don't have no extended conversations, why I don't be wanting to be friends with niggas on the phone. It's because that's the way that it is. Niggas gonna pull it. Oh man, no, I met you one time when we was in this place. I was walking yesterday out of an establishment, and it was a guy that was yelling. He said, hey big dog, hey big dog, hey big dog. And I knew that they were trying to get my attention. But we was in an establishment where it was a bunch of people, and I was walking out the door. And the security says, hey, they trying to get your attention. I'm like, fuck. Because now I'm always situationally aware. And I'm like, this nigga's trying to get you know what I'm saying? Trying to say that they met me. You know what I'm saying? It's like you gotta now everybody, you gotta look at them with a closer eye. Somebody said your security should be able to read your body and vibe by now, bro. Oh, no. It wasn't my security. It was the security in the establishment. So the security is facing me. The security can see behind me of the establishment, right? The security can see behind me in the establishment. I'm walking towards the security, and the person is, yelling out behind me. So it wasn't my security. My security is chilling. My security know what it is. It's the security of the place of the establishment. It was like, oh, they trying to get your attention. I'm like, oh, fuck. Here we go. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah. We cool. You got it. So, but anyways, my point is that this is why I also tell people, pay attention to who's around you and what happens around you when you don't even have as much visibility. Because a lot of y'all are, oh man, I've had conversations with people 1,000 times and they say, oh man, I'm just a regular person. I ain't got to worry about that. No, nigga, you're not going to be you 10 years from now, you're going to be a different you. You're going to be a completely different person. You're going to be in a different space. You're going to be in a whole nother world. You're going to be more and more successful. You're going to be all of that. But if you're not having conversations or making adjustments based off of who you're going to be and dressing for the job that you want instead of still dressing for the job that you have, you are going to limit yourself, and you also are going to be surprised instead of being proactive at the different things that happen around you. It's just the honest to God truth. I'm telling you, this is why, bro, I talked to a very, 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 like a super famous person. They hit me up yesterday. And so we was talking on the phone or whatever. And he said, Anton, this is why I don't be outside. This is why I stay to myself. And I said, why? He said, because everybody is going to say that they got a story or that they know you and that they ain't never even met you in real life before. I said, He said, right now you're learning on the job. He said, you're learning and he said, it's proactive and as smart as you've been, you're learning on the job. He said, this social media thing, all of this stuff, this is relatively new. You know what I'm saying? This is stuff that we still trying to figure out. This is stuff that we navigating around. So you're learning, as you go. You building a plane as you fly it. He said, but this is why we stay out the way. He said, this is why we stay to ourselves. This is why we don't shake hands a lot of times. A lot of times people will say, oh man, I met him at the gas station and he cussed me out. Like, nah, I was just trying to get some gas. It's just the truth. It's the facts. It's the facts. Actually, it's not that person, Diddy Weinstein. I'm keeping it 100 with you. It's not anybody that's named Ice Cube or Wintertime or anything like that. It's none of that. That's all clout chasing right there. I'm talking about real randoms, even more random than that. Ice melts, none of that. None of that shit. None of it. It was a dude that I had, it was a guy maybe 3 or 4 years ago, and we had a little bit of back and forth. And I remember he came up on my show and he apologized and he said, man, listen, I want to make things right. I want to make sure that it's cool. I don't want no problems. We need to call a truce. And I'll promise you that if you never talk about me again, then I'll never talk about you or your family again. And I said, oh, okay, cool. I looked up. Somebody sent me an email, and y'all don't have to send me no more emails. I didn't see enough. I looked up, and the nigga had my chick on the thumbnail. I said, oh, yeah, okay, I see it. I trust women, and I don't even trust women. I trust women more than I trust guys. I trust women. This is why I don't have niggas around me, bro. Y'all kept saying, man, Anton, why you don't have people around you? How you don't do this with it? Because I don't trust, because the niggas are bigger clout chasers than the women. The women will try to get in your section because they trying to get a picture with you. They trying to hang out with you. They even might try to go back to the crib with you. You ain't got to accept that shit. The guys is in your section blocking off the hoes because they more clout chasing than the women. Can I talk my shit real quick before we go to the next? I got time. I'm watching time today, your car. Can I talk my shit real quick, y'all? Permission to derail for the next 3 minutes. Permission to derail for the next 3 minutes, y'all. Permission to derail for the next 3 minutes, please. Kirsten, do you know that I created this sector? All these niggas is my kids. Do you know what it feels like to be a parent and to have your children turn against you for money, for clout, for fame? Do you know that most of these niggas that you see on here doing all of these live streams and shit like that, a lot of these niggas, I made them. I gave them they boost. They came up off my platforms. We would never know these niggas before. Bro, it's people that has been in my Patreon meetups. They introduced me to their fucking wives. No. Let's keep it 100. Let's keep it 100. And I don't feel bad because I understand the game. Listen, all of the movies told us what the game is. It's niggas that had brought their wives to meet my wife. And we embraced them like the children that they are to us. And we said, we love you. And they came to multiple different meetups. Niggas started a channel and all of a sudden they controversy kings. I said, what the fuck is this? Niggas brought their kids. Listen, I'm not lying. Niggas brought their motherfucking kids to come and meet me. Hey man, I want you to meet my son. He wants to be just like you when he grows up. Hey, I want you to meet my wife. Look, man, she wants to be just like your wife. You know it's the truth. You know it's the truth. I promise you on God, on everything. I said, what is going on? These niggas, dog, somebody said yesterday, Anton didn't make us Fight Club. It was my platform. And this is why I killed that shit. I killed that platform and rebranded it and turned it into Room 9. And I said enough of this shit because I seen the spirit of niggas and the clout chasing hat went too high. I said, this is insane. I've seen no less than 20 different people, minimum, that I put on, that I gave visibility to, women and men out here clout chasing. I said, what in the world is going on? And you know me, I'm not even the type of person that only do the big platforms. I show up to the smaller platforms. I do interviews. I show love. I do all of this stuff. I couldn't believe it. I said, what in the world is going on? You know what the funniest part about this whole thing is? Let me tell you what the funniest part about this whole thing is. This is the funniest part. I'm going to give a shout out to Fatty. Shout out to Fatty, Team Fatty, his channel, all of that. I'm going to give a shout out to Fatty. Let me tell you why I'm going to give a shout out to Fatty. Because me and Fatty has had our disagreements, all of that stuff. Fatty is the only person, one of the only people that kept his word. And when we truced it up and we said, you know what? We better together than we are apart. He was the person that actually was like, man, I don't know about this, Anton, whatever, so on and so forth. He's one of the only people, probably not the only person, so I'm not going to say the only person. He's one of the only people that has kept his word. And I don't even agree with everything that he says. And he don't even agree with everything that I said. But he's been one of the only people that has been honest and objective about everything since me and him since we was like, you know what? Everything is cool, bro. We shouldn't even be on that type of time. Even when he criticizes something that I says, he's honest and he's objective. He's not coming from a dark place. And he's one of the people that got visibility from my channel. I'm just amazed. I'm amazed. I am amazed. But here's the thing. Here's the thing. You be at the meetups, QD exec. You be there. You know what's going on. Now here's the thing. Here's the thing. When it's all said and done, it's pennies. It's pennies compared to what could have happened and what the opportunities were. You can't snake your way to the top. You just can't. You can't snake your way to the top. It's just the honest to God truth. But you'll see in the end, all of this shit that we didn't see, that we seeing, I didn't seen it before. I done been around the corner. Eventually it comes back to bite you. Eventually, I done seen niggas lose everything. I've seen people lose everything. So good luck. Good luck. God bless y'all. To all of my children, to all of my 101 Dalmatians out there, I'm disappointed in you. I'm disappointed in my children. All my children. I gave y'all a place to be able to congregate. Gave you an opportunity to get your shit off. Gave you some visibility. All of my children out there is being rebellious. They're being disrespectful. They're being cantankerous, and they're acting like females. The females is acting like females. The males is acting like the females. I said all my children is just being disrespectful. Gave these niggas life. Gave these niggas an opportunity to get their visibility, to promote their channel, inspire them, show them how to stream effectively. You know, let them argue it out, make a name for themselves, keep their reputations up. Gave them the blueprint, gave them the opportunity, and this is the thing that you didn't. This is the thing you gave me. This is how they treat me. It don't. What happens from the ops, that don't break my heart. The ops is the ops. That's what ops do. It break your heart when it come from the inside in, like, not little nig over there. He's telling me Scandinavia is turned against me too. What the fuck is going on? What? He did it too. All for the clout. Oh. Little Scandinavians broke my heart, bro. Broke my heart. Broke my heart. Gave these niggas life, Molly. Gave these niggas life, and they turned on you. How you niggas? I'm sorry. I'm how you niggas playing basketball in Pelican Bay. You do this to me, Jay. Y'all gonna do this to me? Jay. I run this here. You just live here. That's all right. I'm gonna have you niggas playing basketball in Pelican Bay. Shoe program, nigga. 23-hour lockdown. know what? I feel so good. I don't know what is wrong with me today. I woke up in probably the best mood that I've been on all year. Today, I've been in a better mood today than I have ever been. And I've been pretty happy for the most part. I've been in a better mood today than I ever have been in life. I don't know what it is. I've been in a great mood. Let me read some of the super chats. All right. We got to get back to the show. We at the 1 hour mark. All right. Got to get back to the show. Shout out to UTS Car Wash Detail Service. Daddy Wolf says, it's so funny. Like, I'll give you another example of loyalty, right? I'll give you another example of loyalty. A lot of people don't know, because a lot of people will think that, oh man, you discovered Slimmy on these platforms and in these spaces, right? A lot of people don't know, me and Slimmy was rocking out with each other way before this YouTube shit, way before this panel. Before any panel, before any YouTube, before any of that stuff, me and Slimmy was tight. People don't even know that me and Slimmy actually met in Cleveland in his space. Like, me and Slimmy ran into each other in real life. That's how me and Slimmy actually met in real life. People don't even know that. People think that Slimmy came out of nowhere. No, Slimmy has always been a person that supported me online, because me and Slimmy was always rocking with each other in real life. So it's real. It's a genuine thing. It ain't no panel shit. It ain't none of that. Like, we could actually see who real with each other and sense each other energy in real life. Panels? That's my dog in real life. You know what I'm saying? Slimmy wasn't fucking with. Slimmy didn't give. I'm gonna be honest with you. Slimmy never cared about visibility. Slimmy only cared about doing his thing, having conversations about hip hop, about popular culture. I forced Slimmy into this shit. I said, Slim, bro, I'm going this way, so we going this way. And he was like, bro, I'm fucking with it regardless of what you got going on, man. That's how I'm rocking. And so I said, bro, listen, whatever it is that I'm doing, I need you with me, bro. And he was just like, yo. And Slim is the realest one ever. Slimmest, realest one ever. He didn't even care about this shit. He was just like, yo, I'm fucking with you. So I'm like, yo, bro, I need you to come through with this. I need you to hold me down, whatever. And he like, whatever you need, I got you, bro. And so it just went like that. It just went like that. That's how you know niggas is real. Because he didn't even want this shit. He wanted it for me. He didn't want it for himself. On some of the deals that I got going on that Slimmy is a part of. You know what he said to me? I'm going to keep it 100 with y'all. I got to give his flowers. You know what he said to me? He said, man, I don't want nothing, bro. I said, no. He said, no, bro, it's your thing. It's your doing. I'm just going to facilitate it. I'm just going to do this. I got to make sure. You know what Slim say to me all the time? Ever since I ever met him, he always said, hey, man, how can I add value to you, bro? What is it that I could do more to push the brand, because you got a bigger calling on your life? Same thing with Molly. Same thing with your car. All of these people just be like, man, what? Man, bro, we got to push this shit. It's more to do. It's more to win. It's more shit to go get. You got to call and you got to do this, man. You the one that got it. Let's roll. And then I'll be like, hey, but I ain't going nowhere without y'all. So if we gonna do it, we got to do it together. I talked to Molly. Molly said, Anton, I don't even care about this shit. I don't need no visibility. I don't want to promote my social media. I don't want to do none of that. I'm in the cut. Whatever you need, that's all we talk about. And so I'll be like, but I need you. She'd be like, well, all right, I'll pull up if you need me then. That's how they are. If you don't have those type of people in your corner, you don't even know what real loyalty is, man. I'm keeping it a bean with y'all. Daddy Wolf says, watch the video where she looks at him for a second before he attacks. She's smoletting, and the entire thing is to distract her from fraud. What do y'all have to pay somebody to get arrested for doing some type of thing like that? What up, Riri? Riri Brooklyn in the building says she never checked her top to see what he sprayed on her, and that would have been one of my first concerns. Yeah, I would have got that top up off me. I'd have been naked in that joint. I'm not reading your name, bro. Rep Idiot Omar is the new Juicy Smolier. Just call me Solo says stage. Left wings are known for damaging things. List 10 events where right wings attach people. Y'all want me to show y'all something? This was somebody sent me yesterday. Let me show you something. Electric vehicles, is it a good buy or best if it's a gas fuel vehicle asking to purchase another vehicle? It depends on your lifestyle. Like, I think that electric vehicles are good if you have a charger. Like, if you can get a charger that's installed in your garage, then you definitely should get an electric vehicle. You know what I'm saying? Especially if you live in a warmer climate. If you want to use it as a daily, it's super dope. It's super, super dope. Brian the filmmaker says, I just find it funny how they so quick to condemn this man for throwing something at her, which they should, but say nothing when people attack ICE. That's a good point. Jeremy Rogers says, what up, though? I appreciate you, Jeremy Rogers. B Southern, what up, B? What up, B? I love that Louis scarf that you got on. I really do. That's a dope scarf. Hey, AD, hashtag masterclass content STEMI. B Southern says, you better thank an Anton Daniels and my Kamala Harris voice to all of the bottom feeders. Giving these niggas the game. Lex says, you once told me I don't have to say I'm weird to you and be myself, and that told me a lot is warming. Shout out to Lex. Being authentically her. Authentically her. Jay Hunter Lee says, brother AD, who is Lakeisha Keisha? Do you know her or had her on your platform? She's talking about you and your family business and came out of nowhere in the algorithms. Well, anything that's attached to my name. Never know her, never met her before. Her entire page, I think, is, I don't look at her as like a content creator. I look at it as a fan page. But Jay Hunter, just wait. You just got to wait. Enjoy the show. Be patient. Enjoy the show. Just enjoy the show. Be very, very patient. Time. I haven't forgot about anything. Everything will make sense over time. All right. Motor Wonder. What up, though, Motor Wonder? I appreciate you. Caramel Wonder says, 80, let me find out you the internet daddy. Daddy in like a motherfucker. DoorDash driver mama says, I trust people to be exactly who they are. And my DMX voice. Shout out to Courtney Egger. I appreciate you, Courtney Egger. Molly says, you're the Black Donald Trump Anton. Once you got even more famous and visible, they switched up on you. They was always going to switch up. It was just a matter of time. You know what I'm saying, Molly? Spacer says, Scandinavia's Octavia's brother. Facts. Bad Habit says, what's good, G? We feeling great today. Can you play Payroll Giovanni Rose Gold Kit if I got time? Because you know me, I get derailed and then I get distracted and then I'll be having the right time. Brian the Filmmaker says, 80, back to the super chats 1 second later. 80, I got one more thing to say. You know me. That's why I said permission to derail. Shin C, what up, Shin C? I appreciate you. Thank y'all for continuing to rock with me. Make sure y'all tap into the Patreon. Link is in the description as well as pinned to the top of the chat. Let's get to it. All right, so what we talking about next? We did Tracy Morgan. We did Ilhan Omar. Let's go over the walls. Let's go. What's his name? Tom Walls and Tom Homan. Tim Walls and Tom Homan. Let's get into that. All right. Make sure y'all hit a like for the algorithm, subscribe to the channel, and turn on your notifications.
Border czar Tom Homan holding a productive meeting with Minneapolis Mayor Jacob Fry yesterday as the Trump administration works to de-escalate tensions in Minnesota.
It comes as a man rushed Congresswoman Ilhan Omar during a town hall meeting, spraying her with an unknown liquid as she called for DHS Secretary Kristi Noem to resign.
Matt Finn joins us live in Minneapolis with the details. Good morning, Matt.
Good morning, guys.
I don't want to know about this. I want to know about Tom Walls. Tom Homan.
Today, I met with Governor Walz, Mayor Fry, and top law enforcement officials to discuss the issues on the ground in Minnesota. We all agree that we need to support our law enforcement officers and get criminals off the streets. While we don't agree on everything, these meetings were a productive starting point, and I look forward to more conversations with key stakeholders in the days ahead.
Now, you do realize that Tom Homan actually got an award from
We're also a nation of laws. Undocumented workers broke our immigration laws, and I believe that they must be held accountable, especially those who may be dangerous. That's why over the past 6 years, deportations of criminals are up 80%. And that's why we're going to keep focusing enforcement resources on actual threats to our security, even as we are a nation of immigrants.
Interesting. Tom Homan got awards from Obama because he was the person that was enforcing all of the things that they wanted done.
Thanks a lot, Caroline. Two questions. One is looking forward. The role of Mr. Homan. Is he being sent by the president to diffuse the situation that exists right now on the ground? Is he the point person essentially for the White House in terms of trying to tamp down the tensions that exist right now in Minnesota?
Well, Mr. Homan is the point person for cooperating with state and local authorities and corresponding with them, again, to achieve this level of cooperation to subdue the chaos on the streets of Minneapolis. And I would just point out that Mr. Homan is someone who has been lauded for many, many decades for his experience working in law enforcement. In fact, this is a Washington Post headline from 9 years ago, 2016. Meet the man the White House has honored for deporting illegal immigrants. And I would remind everyone in this room that it was former President Barack Hussein Obama who awarded a medal to Mr. Homan. So he's obviously very qualified. He has the full trust and faith of the president. He will continue to have these meetings in the hopes that ICE and local law enforcement can cooperate and work together.
So they were cool with Tom Homan as long as he was working with Obama. But they not cool with Tom Homan now that he's working under Trump. So he's really implementing the exact same policies, the exact same changes, the exact same things across the board. He is implementing all of these things. But it was only cool when he did it under Obama and he got a medal from it. But it's not cool now that he's working for the Trump administration. Now all of a sudden he's the devil, he's racist, he's bigoted, and they need to abolish ICE. They didn't need to abolish ICE when they were deporting 3 million people under Obama. Only when he gets under Trump is when they have to abolish ICE all of a sudden. Interesting.
President Trump has laid out a plan for what he says will end the chaos here in Minnesota. which in part requires Minnesota to turn over criminals for deportation. But Mayor Fry doesn't seem willing to play ball, also writing that I made it clear that Minneapolis does not and will not enforce federal immigration laws, and that we will remain focused on keeping our neighbors and streets safe. City leaders will continue to stay in conversation with Mr. Homan and his team. So
this is called sucking up to Somalis. And this is what makes these type of people dangerous. And I can't even blame him. You know why? Because they the ones that gave him his power. That's why he speaks Somali now. That's why he speaks Somali now. Because he's going to execute on the agenda of the people that keep him in power, because they need him to turn a blind eye to immigration, federal immigration laws, and to the fraud. So of course he's going to move a certain way. Of course he's going to do things a certain way. Of course he's going to support illegal immigration into this country. But I also will tell you that now this is the reason why they incentivize all of these protesters to go out there and get themselves killed. To go out there and get themselves killed. Y'all are crash dummies and y'all don't even know it. You're a crash dummy and you don't even know it. Imagine dying for a person on behalf of people that don't give a fuck about you. Bro, if y'all think that these Somalis in any way, shape, or form over in Minneapolis, because I've even shown videos where they say, listen, that's our birthright and this is what we coming to get, and we don't really care about what y'all think, and we actually think y'all stupid. Imagine dying for people that don't give a fuck about you. That would be like me crashing out over my 101 Dalmatians that's rebelling against me right now. Imagine that. Imagine that. Crazy. Crazy.
not clear what the path is moving forward as far as Minneapolis compliance.
Shit, I'm actually got a little bit of respect for Somalis now, because at least they loyal. They loyal to the purpose. They loyal to the cause. They don't switch up like the Dalmatians.
With the Trump administration. Governor Walz also released a statement through his office, and while he didn't make it clear, he didn't definitively state that Minnesota is unwilling to cooperate with the Trump administration. So we will continue to follow this to keep you guys updated. Back to you in New York.
All right, Matt Finn, live in Minneapolis. Thanks, Matt.
So Donald Trump was on with Will Cain last night, and he was talking about what's happening.
I'm going to get to that in a second. I'm definitely going to get to the whole Will Cain situation. It's funny, though. I see the Trump administration actually trying everything in their power. They are even willing to sit down with these people. They're trying everything in their power. Somebody said, what is the 101 Dalmatians? Oh, those are my children that I got out on YouTube. People that came up under me, started on my panels, may have got some exposure from Fight Club, wanted to be on my stuff, but then they rebelling right now because they badass kids. So we calling them my Dalmatians. Those are my Dalmatians, okay? But Trump is the only person that's actually looking to sit down with these people and work with them on reasonable things that's not anything crazy, and making sure that they get these illegal migrants deported. What we gonna do? How do we deal with this? What would you guys suggest that the Trump administration do, or what would you do if you were in a position of power? I say, you don't want to know what I say. This is why I'm not running for office at any point at this moment. This is why I'm not running for office right now, because you know, I'm not as patient. I don't have the the temperance at the moment, but I'm praying, God, give me more patience. Allow for me to play the longer game. Let me do the things that's best for people, even if they don't know that it's best for themselves. You know what I'm saying? Because, I mean, honestly, I think that the only reason why these people are able to do the stuff that they're doing is because you allow for them and they feel more comfortable. And so the more that they get this battery in their back and you don't slap somebody down, that's why people are rebellious. That's why liberals are rebellious against the United States of America. You have to nip it in the bud, because the more that you let it fester, the more that you let it grow, the worse that it's going to be. The more that you let it fester, the worse that it's going to be. Make sure you hit a like for the algorithm, subscribe to the channel, and turn on your notifications. I want to go into that Trump interview in a second, and then we're going to get to the money. Oh, the trademark lawyer is getting back. All right, cool. We got Stock Club tonight. Chris Monroe says she ran from behind a podium looking for action. With her fists like this to throw a punch. That's how most people throw punches too nowadays. Like this. Let me see what's happening. Trump interview with Will Kane.
Welcome back to the Will Kane Show, live from Iowa, and now we're here. We're here with President Donald J. Trump. Mr. President, great to see you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for doing this.
Well, you know, you do have great ratings.
Well, thank you.
We check the ratings, but even if you had lousy ratings, I would do your show. You are terrific. You've been a terrific guy.
I anticipate they should do very well today with this type of guest today here on the Will Kane Show. Welcome back to the campaign trail. Welcome back to Iowa. How does it feel?
Well, I love Iowa. We've won it 3 times conclusively. There wasn't like any late night voting or anything. We just won it right at the beginning. The doors closed and they said Trump won. And I love the people. You know, I just get along with the people.
I was watching the other room. You look back in your element. You're back with the people. What do you like better? Do you like this, standing on the stage at a rally, or do you like making a deal, maybe for Greenland?
I think I like maybe the rallies better. Deals are fun, but we're making a lot of good deals. We've made record-setting deals. We have $18 trillion coming into the country. That's why they're building auto plants, AI. They're building everything. With thousands of businesses are being built all over the country. And you're going to have a beautiful, very positive explosion sometime during the year when these things start opening up. But
part of being a politician, forget politician, part of being an owner, part of being a person that is the face of a company, part of being somebody that does something good is that you have to get the word out. Listen, when I would take on clients for certain businesses that I had, one of the things that I would tell them all the time is you can have the best product in the world, but if nobody knows what you're doing, if you don't know how to promote it effectively, it doesn't matter. I see people that pitch me stuff, that send me stuff, that talk about it all the time. And some of it be good as hell. And you know what I know for a fact is that it doesn't matter. Because if people don't know what is the most important thing of any political campaign, let me ask the chat, what is the most important thing for any political campaign, for any company, for any content creator, for any person that is visible? What is the most important thing? Let me rephrase that. What's the most important job? What's the most important job? Some people saying visibility, communicate. You're right. You're around there. We getting there. Transparency, marketing. I'm going to do you one better. I'm going to do a word that everybody hates, everybody is scared of, and very few people actually embrace. And this is why I haven't seen a word. I'm looking for a word. I see marketing, advertising, messaging. I'm looking for one word, one syllable. I don't see it. I don't see it. Honesty and transparency, knowing your audience, marketing, poster boy, publicist, diversify. I see ads. Nope, you close. Finally, somebody got it. Sales. There is nothing and no one that is more important to a company than sales. Sales will always have a department. Sales very rarely do layoff. Sales is the most important thing that comes with any company because it doesn't matter what the product is. There's plenty of dope companies, plenty of dope products, plenty of dope whatever that go out of business every day. Sales is the most important part for any company, any person, any content creator, everything. That's how I know that when people, even as content creators, right? I look at it and I say, who are these people? What are they doing? So on and so forth, right? I know that after whatever the moment is, right? Think about Kevin Samuels, right? Think about when he would do his shows or whatever. Kevin Samuels was the hottest thing on the internet, and he controlled the internet for a long time. Why? Because people continued to do reaction videos. He had created an entire sector. But guess what happened when Kevin Samuels was no longer here to then create those shows? You want to know what happened? People's platforms died off. You know why? Because they were no good at continuing to promote themselves. The only thing that they were able to do was to continue to ride the wave that somebody else was on. And so if people are not able to pivot and try to figure out how it is that they can have conversations, or if they just not good at content creation, but they're able to ride a wave, then you feed the streets, but it doesn't mean that that's going to translate into long-term success. And what Trump is doing right now is similar to, yep, everybody scattered, all of that. What Trump is doing, that's why you've seen so many channels die when Kevin Samuels was no longer around, because he created entire sectors and they depended on him. People were crying sometimes, not necessarily because Kev, like some of these people never cared about Kev. Some people was trying to figure out what the fuck I'm gonna do with my channel. What am I gonna do with my channel? There are certain channels that if they don't get interviews, they don't get motion. You know why? Because they have an inability to sell themselves. I believe that is why Vlad is starting to step out in front of the camera. When Vlad does an interview, y'all listen, y'all not Jedi mind tricking and paying attention to shit. When Vlad used to do interviews, he never, ever stepped in front of the camera. When people had to start getting paid a lot of times for interviews, that's when you started to see the switch up, right? Why? Because and this is my theory, I don't believe that Vlad wants to be interdependent on other people in order for his platform to survive. So every time Vlad does an interview now, he also has the guest interview him, because he no longer wants the interviewees to be the face of the company. He wants to be able to get motion himself. So what Trump is doing as a successful businessman and as a successful politician, when he says, yep, that's why we have this going on, and you're going to start seeing these companies come online, because it's not enough to just get the deal done. It's not enough to just say, okay, well, these companies are coming online. These companies are about to rock with us. They're investing in the United States of America, all of that other stuff. It's not enough to say that. You have to sell it to the people. You have to get people involved. They have to know about it. They have to understand it. Hey, get the word out. This is the deal we did. Hey, get the word out. We got $18 trillion in investment coming in. Hey, get the word out. We have to make sure that you know that we are making America safe again. Get the word out. So you have to just continue to beat the door down with visibility and talking points to help people to understand not only did I get the deal done, but this is how it's going to benefit you. This is what we're doing. This is what's going on with America. And so it's almost like giving out talking points. The Democrats do it too. The Democrats do it against Trump. They do it against Trump. That's why you start to see the programming. You see the protesters and they say, oh man, make sure they pay their fair share. They beating that into you. They beating that into your head. Black people are oppressed. They beating that into you. Where's our reparations? They beat that into you. That is marketed to you. That is not an original thought. You're telling people, oh man, nobody said anything about a fucking oligarchy until they started pushing out propaganda on the left. Nobody said anything about fucking fascism. You don't even know what fascism means. You just saying it. They have to get the word out. They got to beat your door down with the propaganda, with the words. All it is, this is all it is. It is sales. It is sales, 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 sales. If you understand sales, if you know how to be effective as a salesperson, you will never go broke. And people hate it because they want to be guaranteed a wage. The greatest business people are the people that know how to do sales. If you don't understand sales, what up, first? If you don't understand sales, then you don't understand people. And if you don't understand people, then you're definitely going to go broke. I don't give a fuck what product you put down. So when he says this stuff and he's going back to Iowa, he's reinforcing, hey, listen, this is what I did for you guys. When he went on a plant tour to Ford Motor Company, I was talking to my people and I made some phone calls. I said, hey, man, what's going on in there? He said, yeah, bro, we've been hiring.
What up, dog?
Hey, I got a question for you. I'm on a live stream. No, you ain't got to say your name or nothing like that. How many workers do you think that Ford, like, has Ford been hiring a lot of workers lately?
Yeah, man. This guy, they was for like 1,500 people or something.
They just hired 1,500 more people? Really?
They want to move there.
Huh. That's crazy. All right, cool. Let me call you right back.
I'm up here right now.
Really? All right, bet. Let me call you right back. I know niggas right here in Detroit right now. People in Detroit right now is like, hey, man, they Ford hiring. Hey, man, they hiring over here. Hey, man, they hiring over there. But what does he have to do? Because the rest of America are going to be completely out of the loop on what's going on, because they will tell you, oh, man, it ain't no jobs. No, it's no jobs that you want to do. It's no jobs. No, he was on the job. It's no jobs that you want to do. You want to work from home. You want to be in the marketing department. You want to be comfy. You want to go work for the federal government. Nope. Casinos is hiring as well. They just did a whole new class that they brought into all 3 casinos here in Detroit. It's a bunch of jobs that's available. Is it a bunch of people that want to work in these places? Is it a bunch of people that can qualify? Do they got felonies? Is it a bunch of people that can pass the drug test? That's a completely different conversation. But you got to sell it. You have to sell it.
Never been any country no country has done what we've done.
That
when you think.
explosion, that anticipated economic explosion, that's going to be important because you also need to do something that someone has done very rarely. You acknowledged this a couple of days ago with Maria Bartiromo, and that is for the president in power to win the midterms. I think it's been only twice since 1938 that the sitting president, the president in power, has won the midterms. Are you concerned?
Well, nobody can explain why. You know, even when we've had an amazing year, there's been a record-setting year in every way, and nobody can explain. Even presidents, whether it's Republican or Democrat, when they win, it doesn't make any difference. They seem to lose the midterm. So,
do you see what Trump always does? Y'all need to learn this, bro. Learn, watch these people. See, people don't watch people because they've been sold not to like them. But I watch everybody, whether I like you, dislike you, or whatever. Why? Because I'm learning a lot about you. What Trump always does is he reinforces his talking point. He always gives you something that he's done great before he answers your question. Hey, man, listen, a lot of people can't really understand it. Why that happens, I mean, we've had record-setting years. We've had everything has gone well. This is one of the best years that America has ever had. But let me get back to your question when it comes to the midterms. You know what? It's just an interesting thing. It always goes the other way, even though we have done really great things. He's always reinforcing the message.
I worry about it. I said, why? There's some psychological factor out there.
What do you think that is?
But I think it's like 2 in more than 50 years. Well, I don't know. Maybe they want to put up a guard fence. Maybe you just don't know. It doesn't make sense. Even if a president did well, they seem to lose the midterms. But hopefully we're going to change that around. We're doing great. We have the best polling numbers we've ever had. We have the best numbers in the country, lowest crime numbers in the history of our country. You know, Minnesota's in the news a lot, but what they don't say is that Minnesota has low numbers because of the fact that we took thousands of hardened criminals out of Minnesota. So
what is he doing? He's reinforcing what they did good inside of Minnesota. You know what? Minnesota, it's a lot of things going on in Minnesota, but what they're not going to tell you is that we've taken a lot of hardened criminals out of Minnesota. He's continuing to get the word out.
Had good crime numbers, believe it or not. And that's all working out. You know, we have Tom Homan there now. We put him in there. He's great. And they met with the governor, the mayor, everybody else, and we're going to de-escalate a little bit. But I will tell you, you look at the numbers, they're doing better than they've done in many years because we took thousands of criminals out of Minnesota. You look at Washington, D.C., it was a very dangerous place a year and a half ago. Now it's as safe as you can get. You can walk your family down the middle of the street, nothing's going to happen. You know, it's we got rid of over 2,000 hardened criminals, many of them led in through the open border policy of Sleepy Joe Biden. It was not a good policy, Will.
I want to come back to Minnesota in just one moment, but let's go to those guardrails. I'd imagine you do not feel like you need guardrails in this moment. You talk about the investment.
No, I don't need guardrails. I don't want guardrails. Guardrails would hurt us because, you know, we're free enterprise people. The people in this room, the people of Iowa, are free enterprise. That's why we won it so big 3 times in a row.
I mean, always. This is a fucking masterclass. He always controls the conversation, even when Will Cain gets ready to ask a question. Look how he masterfully controlled this question.
Feel like you need guardrails in this moment. You talk about the investment.
No, I don't need guardrails. I don't want guardrails. Guardrails would hurt us because
he's always controlling the conversation. It is an art to communicate. It is an art and how you control the conversation, what you do, how you do it. And when you see somebody that is aggressively trying to push you in a direction, it is so easy to control the conversation, redirect, and get them on a page that you want them to be on so that they'll eventually get out of pocket, and then you control the narrative there on out. Because now they're going to be on their heels for the rest of the time that you're talking about them. They're trying to get back engaged in the conversation, but they are off their rocker because they don't even know what they was talking about or what point that they was trying to make in the first place, because you are the person that is steering and controlling the conversation.
Because, you know, we're free enterprise people. The people in this room, the people of Iowa, are free enterprise. That's why we won it so big 3 times in a row.
I would have to imagine that guardrails would be an understatement of what would happen should you lose the House or the Senate. There's been talk of impeachment. You've been through this before. Yeah. You've been through it multiple times.
I'm a professional.
What will happen? What will happen if Democrats take the House?
They'll probably try and impeach me. They'll say he went to Iowa and he spoke unfairly to people and he's not supposed to do that. Let's impeach him, okay? And the people in Iowa would say, how did he get impeached? He just did an interview with Will. who has very good ratings, okay? But they just did an interview with, well, now they'll find something. There'll be something, I made the wrong turn at an exit and let's impeach him. Now, they did that before. They impeached me on a perfect phone call. Turned out they impeached me twice. And by the way, I won the impeachments very easily and quickly. But they impeach. They're very nasty people. You know, they have bad policy, really bad, but they do two things. They stick together, not stupid. Some are, because, you know, that's true with everything, right? But they stick together, but they have really bad policy. Men and women's sports, transgender for everybody. So many things are so bad. They're horrible to the farmers. And by the way, I just gave the farmers $12 billion because they were treated unfairly. We take it.
Now you can see it. See, when you're not looking for it, and it's just second nature to you because you think that this is just the person, this is just how they're communicating, you don't pay attention to it. Now that I brought it to your attention, you're going to start noticing it more because that's what you do. Anytime you speak about a point, you highlight and then you execute. You highlight and then you execute. That is the art of conversation. Now you see it. Now you're starting to see it now, because before you just like, oh, you know, you just listening, but subconsciously they are putting things in your mind to remind you of exactly what it is that they've done successfully. Oh, by the way, I gave the farmers $12 billion because they've been treated very badly. Go ahead. So this is what we believe.
Taking in a fortune with tariffs. And I wrote them a little check about 2 weeks ago for $12 billion. Anybody in this room get any of it yet? Yes, yeah, a lot of people. It's a lot of money. And you know what? You deserved it. But we're taking in so much money from the tariffs that we can do that.
I want to talk about the point of view from some of these farmers, some of these people in this room a little bit later, but now I want to take you up on your invitation to talk about Minnesota. Listen, the entire country is talking about what happened this past weekend in Minnesota. You've already spoken about it. Everyone watching has seen the video. Everyone has an opinion. I'm curious what you thought when you first saw that video.
Well, I think the whole thing is terrible. I don't like the fact that he was carrying a gun that was fully loaded and he had 2 magazines with him, and it's pretty unusual. But nobody knows when they saw the gun, how they saw the gun, everything else. Bottom line, it was terrible. Both of them were terrible. The other was terrible too. And I'm not sure about his parents, but I know her parents were big Trump fans. Makes me feel bad anyway. But I mean, I guess you could say even worse.
Reinforcing that, hey, her parents were big Trump fans. Reinforcing.
Worse, they were tremendous Trump people, Trump fans. And, you know, the daughter was, she was, I don't know if you could say radicalized, maybe not. I don't know. But I hate to see it. I hate to see that.
You bring up the term radicalized. What do you think is happening? You see these people in these videos, they feel very emboldened to step in and interfere with law enforcement.
Yeah.
I'm not talking about protest, holding signs. I'm talking about people physically interfering with immigration enforcement. Why? Why do they feel so emboldened?
You know, you have to go throughout the whole country. You know, we have done so much work throughout the whole country. We don't have any problem. The only one we have is Minnesota. We're in a lot of different places. New Orleans, we're in the governor of Louisiana called they have a big problem in New Orleans. And we went there. We've cut the crime by 67% in 4 weeks. It'll be down to practically nothing soon. Washington, D.C., we don't have problems. Like, you know, we've cut it down from a lot. It was very bad. It was terrible. People go to Washington to look at the Lincoln Monument and they end up getting whacked or whatever, killed. In some cases, numerous killings. That's a beautiful, safe place now. Memphis, Tennessee, one of the worst in the whole country, and now it's got very little crime.
But it's gone very differently in Minneapolis.
Well, it has. It's the only place.
And now the message is out that Tom Homan is in.
Yeah.
Commander Bovino is supposedly leaving Minneapolis along with some CBP agents. Is this a pullback?
I don't think it's a pullback. It's a little bit of a change. Everybody in this room that has a business, you know, you make little changes. You know, Bovino is very good, but he's a pretty out there kind of a guy. And in some cases, that's good. Maybe it wasn't good here. But you have to understand, when I watch some of the people that I've been watching over the last few weeks, these are paid insurrectionists. These are paid agitators. These people are normal, like, oh, gee, that, you know, they're incensed about anything. How do you get incensed when you go into a state and you're taking criminals out? You're taking monsters out, murders. You know, we had 11,888 murderers let into our country by other countries, by Biden with his open border stupid policy. It's the dumbest thing I've ever heard. You talk about bad policy. Open borders where people were coming, so the whole world, the Congo, Venezuela, all over the world, they're letting people in from their prisons and they're feeding them into the United States. And they're murderers and they're drug dealers and they're everything else you can think of, every bad name you can think of. And they let them in by the millions. We closed the border. You know, we have nobody coming into our country anymore. Literally.
It just shows how hard it is to close.
Shout out to Trump, speaking specifically about the Minneapolis situation and the people, the paid insurrectionists. Make sure you guys tap into the Patreon. Link is in the description. Teach Hanley, 40% off your first order, 20% off for life. We got a live stream tonight, and I think that it's going to be great. We're doing Stock Club tonight. Stock Club tonight. Me University says no one is holy to them. You either cheat or you whack. J.L. Carnicero says, I don't think it's ICE's job that makes most Americans upset. It's their conduct. Nope, it's how they're marketed to you. Obama's ICE wasn't beating and killing U.S. citizens. Well, they didn't have as much. They didn't have any pushback either, and they didn't have protesters. Can't speak for the crazy lips, though. Enjoying the show. Patera Cafe. Shout out to you. I appreciate you, my friend. It's a lot more that you're not mentioning in there, but I appreciate you. All right, let's continue on with the show. Amazon. What was that? Number 4? I think that was number 4. Amazon. Somebody said Amazon is laying off. Let me see something. Amazon to reduce staff by 16,000. Well, the first thing that I had seen about Amazon was that it was closing its Amazon Go stores. Have y'all seen that?
There are changes in the grocery store landscape today. Amazon is closing some stores and converting others.
That's right. WGN's Christine Flores has more from Amazon's North Riverside location, which was closed today.
Good evening. Would-be customers have been walking up to the store here in North Riverside only to be greeted by a sign that says they're closed for the rest of the day. And it's not clear if this is tied to the recent announcement.
I come here often to return stuff, and I come here often to do shopping, grocery shopping here.
This would have been my first time coming to this Amazon Fresh, and to see this, very, very disappointing. I'm sad.
Would-be customers arrived at the Amazon Fresh store in North Riverside only to find out it was closed for the day. A sign on the door didn't have a reason why, but it told them to return tomorrow.
What if I come back tomorrow and the sign's still posted? I mean, so what's the reason for the close?
Yes.
I mean, it's not telling you anything. It's just.
I seen an Amazon Go store. An Amazon Go store, if I'm not mistaken, is the store where you was just able to pick up something and walk out, and it will automatically charge you across Amazon. I seen an Amazon Go store in Vegas, I think, and I think that they had already changed it. I think that Amazon is more of a technology company than it is a company that cares about Amazon Go or Amazon Fresh. I think that a lot of that is to proof out the technology so that they can ultimately start selling it to grocery stores. Amazon is not interested in opening Amazon Go or Amazon Fresh stores. Amazon is interested in testing out the technology, making it work, and then ultimately licensing it over to other stores that are already in flight. They want to sell it to Kroger. They want to sell it to Walmart. They want to sell it to any grocer, whatever the new technology is. The Go stores are only they're pilots. It's a pilot store. Most companies are technology companies. They don't want to be in the business of running a store, because if that was the case, then they would just do it in their own grocery stores that they already got. The technology is not going away. The stores may, but the technology is not going away.
Say they apologize for closing.
In a blog post by the company, Amazon announced it would close its brick and mortar stores, which are 57 Amazon Fresh locations and 15 Amazon Go sites, all while expanding their Whole Foods market and investing in grocery delivery. It's a move retail experts say is not surprising.
It's important to remember that Amazon has a long history of testing and learning and then moving on. And so this really kind of plays into just that continued.
And then a lot of what they'll do is they'll take the same technology and implement it into the Whole Food stores that they already own.
Commitment to testing new concepts, innovating, taking learnings, but also knowing when to let go.
Amanda Lay, associate partner with McMillan Doolittle, a retail consulting firm, points at the various ways the company has been innovative and created technology seen in other spaces like the Walkout store at O'Hare and Wrigley Field.
Just because they're backing out of Amazon Fresh and Amazon Go doesn't mean they're done experimenting. Just last week, we heard those announcements about Amazon planning to open up a 230,000 square foot location in Orland Park. The earliest reports say it's going to be like half grocery and merchandise, another half will be more distribution center. So, they're still experimenting with brick and mortar retail, just in different ways.
The Seattle-based retailer said some locations would turn into Whole Foods stores, adding in their post, "While we've seen encouraging signals in our Amazon-branded physical grocery stores, we haven't yet created a truly distinctive customer experience with the right economic model needed for large-scale expansion." Meanwhile, some customers at North Riverside weighed in on the move.
It was pretty disappointing taking the truck out here and finding it's going to be closed and deciding now where else I'm going to take returns to.
Amazon did not provide a timeline for the closures. They also didn't say which sites would become Whole Foods. They also didn't say how many employees would be impacted by the closures or if those employees would be reassigned within the company.
News this morning, Amazon has just announced it's cutting 16,000 jobs worldwide.
It's the latest round of mass layoffs as the Seattle-based company reshapes its business in the world of AI. King 5 Savannah Welch is at Amazon headquarters in Seattle this morning. So, Savannah, what's the company saying about this latest round of cuts?
Well, Jake, the Amazon announced the layoffs early this morning, just hours after an internal email went out to staff by mistake. This internal email incorrectly stated that employees had already been notified they lost their jobs. It did make it clear, though, that layoffs were coming, but workers at that point had not yet been officially informed. Amazon leadership said, quote, "We've been working to strengthen our organization by reducing layers, increasing ownership, and removing bureaucracy. While many teams finalized their organizational changes in October, other teams did not complete that work until now. These layoffs are in addition to those 14,000 jobs cut back in the fall. Impacted employees will have 90 days to look for another role within the company. Those who don't transition will receive severance, benefits, and career support."
Ain't nothing like having a job, baby. Ain't nothing like having a job. That's over in Seattle, if I'm not mistaken. And so what they're basically saying is that they had already planned on laying off and getting rid of 30,000 people. 30,000 people. And the majority of those people are going to try to apply for roles that's already in the company, but the majority of those people will probably be laid off. They'll probably port over maybe 400, 500 people. And then the rest of the 15,500 people will be laid off. Will be laid off. First rule of Fight Club is you don't talk about Fight Club. Second rule of Fight Club is you don't talk about Fight Club. Third rule of Fight Club is never put all of your eggs in one basket, meaning that you have to diversify. Diversification was not necessarily for your portfolios. Diversification was not for your portfolios. Diversification was for your life. One of the biggest lessons that I took from being let go in 2007, 2008, when the housing crisis was in full effect, was never, ever, ever was I ever not going to have 2, 3, 4 irons in the fire. Cam Conversation says, I disagree. Sometimes you have to go all in on yourself. On yourself. Sometimes you have to go all in. You should have been all in on yourself. The whole time while you have a job, listen to what I'm trying to tell y'all. Y'all are not paying attention. The whole time that you have a job, you are supposed to be working on your own shit. If you are not working on your own shit, the days of having a regular job and being able to work there for the next 30 to 40 years until you retire is over. I don't know why y'all don't get that. The people that was working for the government just started figuring that part out. So you're going to have to start adapting to the circumstances and the environment that we live in. This is not 1986 at all. And I know that hurts your heart because you like, oh man, you know, Bernie Sanders said that I'm supposed to be able to work as a barista and get a livable wage. That's why you have to go in with somebody when you evaluating a chick, unless you getting it. Let's just say you a regular person and you make anywhere from $45,000 to $95,000 a year. You need to figure out if the person that you're with is also financially stable enough to be with you. What does that mean? That means if something happened to one of us, are we able to adapt because it didn't happen to both of us? Until I get on my feet or she get on her feet, can we leverage each other? Because it's just as much of a business as it is a love situation. What these layoffs are telling me, and they don't speak to me from the lens of, oh man, this is how many people got laid off. It speaks to me from the lens of what is the lesson that we learn from this? You're never, ever safe. You're never, ever safe. Ever. Ever. You're never safe. So what do? You make sure that you have more than one job, more than one income, more than one source while you working on your businesses, while you working on your own stuff. Even today, right now, what am I doing? Got 3 houses in flight, 2 more that we pulling permits from, and we building. We building. You know why? Because you can't cancel a nigga that got his own motion. You can't cancel a person that got his own motion. Until I'm not resting, I'm not taking no time off until I get 50 of them in flight. If I don't get at least 50 in flight with no mortgages, what does that equate to? 50 houses at $2,500 a month will bring in, on average, gross $125,000 a month. $125,000 a month gross with no mortgages whatsoever. Then that's when I start to rest. Then that's when I start to get comfortable. You know what? I can sustain my lifestyle because it's not about retirement. It's about lifestyle. Lifestyle, baby. So you keep working. You keep putting things in perspective. You keep putting things in motion. Why? Because you don't want to be interdependent on these companies. You don't want to be interdependent on this. You don't want to be interdependent on that. And we talk about this inside of Block Club. I actually show y'all what the strategy is long term so that you can't cancel a nigga that don't need you. You can't cancel me At any point, you can retire. Why? Because you got motion, and you don't need an industry to sustain you. That's what Nipsey said, mailbox money. So when I see all of these layoffs, I feel bad for people. But when I lost my job and when I went broke in 08, I said never again.
The company also announced this week that it's closing all Fresh and Amazon Go stores. There's 11 stores here in Western Washington, and Amazon announced the closures this week. We spoke with a shopper whose niece works with Amazon Fresh at the corporate level.
You know I ain't got no boss, Chris.
Just crossing my fingers that maybe if she gets laid off there, they might be able to find a place for her somewhere else within Amazon. If that's the case, she's going to be really devastated.
Sunday will be the last day for stores here in Washington. Instead, Amazon is focusing on grocery delivery and expanding Whole Foods markets. The company plans to open more than 100 new Whole Foods locations over the next few years, and some of the closing stores may actually be converted into Whole Foods. The Amazon Fresh online delivery service, though, that will still be available.
I was talking to my baby girl, my daughter, last night, and so we talking. And so she's sitting at the kitchen table, and I'm sitting at the kitchen table. And she says, Dad, I've never, ever seen you take a day off. She said, when do you plan on taking a day off? Who are you talking to? Who are you talking to? She started cracking up. I said, that's not what men do. That's not what men do. We don't take days off. I said, don't we still got dreams and other things that we want to achieve? And she said, yeah. I said, so what we taking days off for? That we just slowing down the progress that we would use in order to get to the other places. KLM says, if you want to test God, walk in faith. I got a better quote for you. Faith without works is dead. That's the scripture that I read. Faith without works is dead. That's what I was taught. I don't know what y'all talking about. You know what I'm saying? I sleep on a plane on the way to my destination. Make sure you hit a like for the algorithm, subscribe to the channel, and turn on your notifications. Shout out to all of the people at Amazon. I hope y'all figure it out, man. Never depending on no goddamn company. Casual Germ says, I've been saying there's a difference between ICE and Border Patrol. Now those two are about to start clashing. Just wait. Keep the popcorn on standby. Nah, they work together. They work together. Flywell says, big facts. I do my show at my job. Shout out to Flywells. Bossman Bino says, get a union job, get a union job, get a union job. That don't save you. But you don't think that all of those people that got laid off in 2008 was in the union? All that did was keep you working based off of seniority. That didn't necessarily save you. Don't save you. Let's continue. I want to get into this Sebastian Telfair. What's that, 5? Oh, we got good time. We got good time today, baby. Did y'all see that Sebastian Telfair interview on the Pivot?
I always says, you know, people ran through it. They called me the pocket watcher on the show. I know you've seen at least 20. I don't know the big picture, really what you've seen, but you've seen 20 grown men. Like, don't just say bad investments. Like, how did you run through 20? I never saw 20. And just thinking about it, like, my thing when I see dudes and I'm talking to them, I'm like, bro, if you got 10, then you got 8, then you got 6, then you got 4, Then you got 800,000. Like you can see that money leaving. Like at one point, then you try to adjust. Like something is going wrong with this financial plan.
That's a good question. And no excuse. No excuse. So I played 10 years. You said I made 20. We all know about Uncle Sam, right? So what's that? 10.
10.
Right?
So Sebastian Telfair is a former NBA player, very much heralded in the high school, streets, all of that type of stuff. He played for 10 years. They're saying that he made over $20 million. But like most NBA players, maybe the money ran out. I don't know. He didn't say that he was broke, but they're asking him about, playing 10 years, making $20 million, and this was his response to it.
And no excuse. No excuse. So I played 10 years. You said I made 20. We all know about Uncle Sam, right? So what's that? 10.
10.
Right? So that's about $1 million a year.
Yeah.
That ain't no money. That's the real truth. The real truth is I ain't really make no money.
And that is the part that got people feeling some type of way. That is the part that got people feeling some type of way. All right. He's basically saying, listen, I made 20. 10 of it went to Uncle Sam, which is crazy to me. That is crazy to me. But just for the sake of the conversation, let's say you took home $10 million. He's saying $10 million in 10 years, that ain't no money. He said that ain't no money. And people are in shambles about this. They like, bro, what are we talking about? Because most people will never make $10 million in their life. And so they'll never, ever be able to think about 10 million take home. They couldn't imagine it. What the fuck is going on? I already told y'all this, though. I already had this conversation with y'all. What did I say to y'all? I said that the minute that you start having and making a lot of money, what is going to be the first thing that you're going to do? You're going to go and spend it, you're going to blow it, and you're going to go ahead and run through it. Your first year or two, you got to get it out your system. Your first year or two, you got to get it out your system. You got to go, you got to buy the cars, you got to do all of the things that you want to do, whatever, so on and so forth. You got to get it out your system. Got to take care of the people, you know what I'm saying? Take some trips, spend a little bit, take the ladies out, whatever, blah, blah, blah. You got to get it out your system. So a lot of people could never imagine. Could never, ever imagine. You know what's so funny? I just got my, I got one of my, 1099s from YouTube. Just got it in the mail the other day. Actually, I got it in the mail yesterday. No, that's not it. You know, I'm doing a completely different segment. And so what I like to do on a Patreon is I like to show people look at all of these checks. Too many checks. I like to show people in the Patreon because I'm very, very, very transparent. What I make, how I make my money, and how I invest my money. This is it right here. Yep. This is it right here. Boop, 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 boop. So I always like to show people in the Patreon exactly what I make. So y'all know that y'all will see that after we do Stock Club. Pretty impressive. Pretty impressive. It's crazy. It's crazy. And we are projected to do way more this year than we did last year. Not yet. Not yet, Tooks. Not yet, Tooks. So I will show you guys that inside of the Bag Chaser. And we're going to get there. But a lot of people can't imagine what it's like to make $1 million. Somebody said, show us. Nope. I always show the bag chasers.
I really ain't make no money. So people were like, oh, I don't understand how you go crazy from, I'm like, I ain't make Floyd Mayweather and no money. I didn't make the type of money where it's like, I'm gonna go crazy because I don't have it today. That's the real truth. If you do the math, that's $1 million a year. It's even hard. That's you got to be a real strategic dude making $1 million a year and thinking you're gonna end up, with everything on earth.
And you take care of the family.
I got 14 brothers and sisters that I love with all my heart. I got a mother and a father.
You know what this is called? This is called the black tax. This, ladies and gentlemen, is called the black tax. What is the black tax? What up, OG? What is the black tax? The black tax is you have an obligation to make sure your people are straight. Jay says, that's why you leave your family behind. I can't do it. I can't do it. Keisha, I can't do it. I can't do it. Listen, let me be honest with you. You get it now, Rayshawn, because Rayshawn is one of the people that's a part of my Patreon. And so Rayshawn has made a lot of money. A lot of money. But Rayshawn is now dealing with the fallout of success. And he didn't know that it was going to feel this way because it's different, right? Rayshawn made more in a day than sometimes he made in a year. But guess what I can't do? I can't do it. I can't leave my people behind. Listen, I would rather have less as a result of making sure that my people is with me than to have all of the money in the world by myself. I know it sounds crazy. When I was younger, I thought the same thing. Man, how can these people think like that? Why is they giving this person this money? Why they take care of this person? Why they put that person on salary? Why they buy that person a house? And I said, man, I can't. I get it now. Because some people do it and some people make a lot of money and they spend it, right? So they still don't invest it. I still think that you have to make strategic investments. But I can't leave my people behind, bro. I can't. I gotta make sure that the people is taken care of. This person need to be taken care of. This person needs some situation. This person is dealing with some shit. So I don't want it by myself. What's the good in having it if you can't look out for the people around you? What's the good of having it if you can't look out for the people around you? If you can't use it as a tool to put other people in a position to be successful, then what the fuck you getting it for? But you gonna stack it? You just gonna save it and eat and look at it while your people starve? That's what you would do? So your brother over there, he needs some shit. Huh? He needs you. He going through it. He got to figure it out. You making all of this goddamn money and you gonna let that nigga, you gonna let him starve? You got all of this money stacked up and you gonna let your people starve just so you can say that I got it? What's the point of you being the person that went and got it if you ain't gonna share with everybody else? If you ain't gonna at least put somebody on? I don't agree with that. I don't agree with that. I know that that's probably a controversial take. I know a lot of people gonna say, nah, man, skip that. I don't ever want to go broke. Man, we can always make some more money, man. We can always go get some more money. We can always go get jobs. We can always go run up a bag. TM Speak says, you just said Tracy Morgan didn't owe Buddy. That's not his homie. Y'all don't know how to figure that out? He said the dude was talking shit about him when he was younger. Apparently, a lot of y'all said that was his bully. He don't owe the bully. But you can't have people that surround you that you call your friend, or they hanging out with you, or they rolling with you, and they're not staying in the whole same hotel as you. So you would let your homies come and hang out with you, but you wouldn't get them the hotel room, but you would get a bitch a hotel room. You will make sure y'all niggas are so weak to me, and let me tell you why a lot of times. Because y'all would be out here spending all of the fucking money buying handbags, giving chicks money, distributing resources and shit, and you will let your brother starve, but you will buy that bitch something. You would trick off on a hoe that you ain't never met before that ain't even bringing you no value, but you will let your brother starve. You will let your bro starve, trying to hoard the money so you can go and give it to a chick that you ain't never met before. Is she helping you make some money? Because if she not helping you make no money, if she not helping you run up a bag, then what you got her around you for? No, I get it. Listen, I think he should have been smarter with his money. He should have been smarter with his investments. I believe that what he said, being in the league for 10 years, he had enough runway to where the first 3 or 4 years, he could have got it out of his system. The next 7 years, 6, 7 years, he should have been putting his money in place and putting things in order. You know what I'm saying? But if you got it, what I'm saying is if you got it, you're not going to let your people starve, bro. So somebody was right. He said this is a layered conversation. I agree with you. It is a layered conversation.
You know what I'm saying? So it was a lot on us. The real truth with the money part of it is we ain't make enough money for it to be sitting the way it's supposed to be sitting. Right? That's the real answer to that. But I invested in Philippe Childs. You know what I'm saying? So I was doing, when I first got to the league, I was on the path to do, you know what I'm saying, the right things. You know what I'm saying? So I was on the right path. I just got knocked off the path of, you know, sitting here with, you know, $275 million cash right.
A lot of these guys think that they're going to get LeBron money, Steph money. You're not going to get that type of money, bro. You had a career that was longer than most NBA players. Most NFL players and NBA players go broke within 5 years of getting out of the league. You had a hell of a run. 10 years is a long time to be getting that type of money, to be honest with you. It's a long time. So we got to educate ourselves. We got to be smarter. That's why the nerds is winning. That's why nerds is winning. You know, you want to know why nerds is winning? Because we wise, we smart, we educate ourselves on how we are to maintain and then continue to grow our wealth. That's the other part of the conversation, but we're not going to get there. That's not what we're talking about right now.
The way that you don't sit here with $275 million in cash is when the 13th draft pick of the Portland Trail Blazers in the first round doesn't become a superstar. But you had always been a superstar. Like you said, from the 5th grade, you were the #1 player in the country. What was the realization for you when you were like, wait, I'm not the best. I'm not playing the most. I'm coming off the end of the bench as a rookie. How difficult was that to deal with for someone who always had it?
I don't really think that played a part. Maybe small. I was very confused when I got to Portland and I wasn't starting. Like, that shit confused me. I was just like, why am I not starting? You know what I'm saying? And then it took them halfway through the year and they let me start. And I remember my numbers from that point through my second year is perfect online to do what I need to do. So the basketball part of it wasn't it. Though I was not working half as hard as I supposed to have been working, especially early on. You know, I would say my first 3-4 years dealing with everything off the court and not focus on the court. So the lack of focusness along with being a little confused of not starting and being on the team that's we losing, and I'm not really feeling it. And I was confused as shit. Like, I'm used to, like I said, like I'm used to crying when I lose. And when we win, I'm feeling good and everybody holding me up. So when I got to Portland and we just losing. I'm just saying that like, what the, like, I was confused. That's the truth. The first time I second guessed myself, you know what I'm saying? But that's when you're supposed to have the right people around you, kind of mentoring you, so you understand that this is a marathon. This is not a sprint. Stay focused. When your time comes, you're going to be extra ready and you take it from there.
You talked about having people be able to talk to you, guide you. Sometimes having conversations with people who have hit rock bottom are conversations that help you going forward as well. Recently, when you were in jail, for lack of a better way to say it, you had a conversation with Diddy. What did you take away from that conversation to help you now moving forward to not end up in a bad place like that again?
Shout out to Diddy. I hope he get through, you know, everything he's going through. But I learned my lesson soon. The judge said 6 months. I ain't need to be in here talking to Diddy or nobody else. You know what I'm saying?
Take the bait.
Nah, I don't really want to give Diddy my lesson I learned from that. You know what I'm saying? But, you know, shout out to him. I hope he get through the situation. I hope he a better person when he get out.
He didn't take the bait. He did not take the bait. He kept it G. He kept it solid. He did not talk about his conversation with Diddy. I love that. I love that. I think that that's some real junk right now. That's real. Like that's a stand-up dude right there. He did not get into the gossip. He didn't, you know, go into what his conversation was with Diddy. He just kept it G. I think that that's dope. They had to ask him.
To be in a place where you go from all of these dreams and goals of things that you can be, and you know, you even say I didn't work the way I was supposed to in the beginning. There was the gun charge as well, which I think it was more the off the court stuff where people were like, wait, he got this charge or he's going through this thing. We can get him for cheap. When you get to Phoenix and you're playing with Steve Nash and you're watching a professional, was there any point where you thought you could get your career back to the place where you could be the star people perceived you to be when you were young?
That's fun that you say it like that. 'Cause I believe in Phoenix was the first time where I felt like there's some growth for me. And I think Phoenix was the kind of point where like I knew my career was kind of over, tell you the truth. I had a whole problem with my agent when I went to Phoenix. I was super excited when I went to Phoenix. I wasn't in shape when I got to Phoenix, so they had Ronnie Price playing over me, and I worked my ass off. I got in tip-top shape. Last 40 games of the season, I'm averaging 15-8. We won a game off the playoffs and shit. I just did a great job. The week before the season ended, I met with my agent. We down in Houston. I met with my agent. I'm like, yo, what type of deal can I get? Because at this point, I'm trying to get a team to invest in me for 3 years so I could woosah and, you know, just work and shit. So he was like, man, you could get a 3-year deal, 4-year deal, something like this that night, saying the numbers. I'm like, oh, I'm feeling so good that night. I go out there. I was playing against Kyle Lowry and Aaron Brooks. I'm kicking their ass. And they looking at me like, what the hell? I'm about to get some of that money y'all been getting. That's what I'm thinking in my head, but I'm just like moving, feeling different. Because when you're playing professional sports, you got to be making money. You can't be out there, especially for too many years, not making no real money. It's like a conversation that nobody's having, but you know the respect level and everything, you know, kind of that money part that you're making is a box that they're going to check. You know what I'm saying? If they checking off how they're going to deal with you. You know what I'm saying? And that goes with the referees, et cetera, et cetera. The season ended. I knew how my contract was. When they called to sign me, they was like, we want to give you 1.5. So my agent was like, nah, you got to take that. That's what TJ Ford just signed for and for the Spurs. I was like, nah, ain't TJ Ford older than me? Like, nah, I ain't doing that. So he was like, whatever. So 2 hours later, he called back. I was like, tell him give me $2 million and I'll come play for the year for them. So he called me back. He's like, all right, we got the deal for you, $2 million. Cool. He was like, this is how it is. They're going to pay you $1.5 million, and then at the end of the year, they're going to give you $500,000. It's the second year on the contract, but they're going to cut you right at the end just to give you the $500,000. Got your $2 million. Boom. I'm like, all right, cool, let's do that. I go through the season, it start off rocky, it ends great. They like, we love you, we don't want you to go nowhere, you our guy. I'm talking to my agent, he talking about a contract. I'm like, finally, like I'm just getting to the point where I got a decent team, my mother out the projects, I got my house, I got the car I want. I'm just getting to the point where it's like, all right, this is what it felt like to be in the NBA and shit. The season ended, I waited till that 10 days. I'm calling Phoenix like, where is my 500,000? They like, man, we love you so much, we're gonna keep you for the next year. I said, nah. The deal was that y'all give me the $500,000. And he was like, nah, you gotta talk to your agent. My agent lied to me.
Handshake deal.
He lied to you about the 500,000?
Yeah, that they agreed to release me for me to get the 500,000.
And that wasn't in the actual contract.
No, it wasn't in the contract.
That's
You
your
had to
fault.
sign it though.
That's your fault.
But that probably was a verbal agreement.
Yeah, because to send it to the
Said that probably was a
NBA PA,
verbal
you couldn't send it there saying he's going to get cut at the end of the year.
He
to get
low-key
500,000.
trying not to snitch
That
on
was one of those handshake deals.
He trying not to snitch on himself and trying not to throw himself under the bus. They probably said, listen, let me give you the 1.5 on paper, and then we're going to give you the other half of M behind the scenes at the end of the year. When he came back and doubled back and was like, all right, let me get that, they was like, well, hold on for a second though, big dog, because we about to sign you and we about to make you, you know what I'm saying? We about to do the whole thing, the whole shebang. And so he was probably like, nah, where my money at? Now, in my opinion, the smart thing to do would be, all right, listen, they're not trying to come up off that $500,000 on its own. So I'm probably just going to have to like make sure that I get it on the back end of this next contract. They saying that they want to re-sign me. So I'm going to just play the game and I'm going to chill out for a second. But he probably wasn't in that type of environment. He probably wasn't on that type of time. He probably wasn't on that type of time at all.
Facts.
Yeah. So what was the next step after that then?
Man, I was mad as hell. So I met with the owner, Robert Sarver, Rob Babby, and the president and all them. And I'm like, what are y'all talking about? They was like, nah, we don't. And I went to Rob Babby, who's the president of the team. I was like, listen, this is the start of the season. So y'all got me in here with fucking Hakeem Warwick making $8 million a year, Josh Children making $10 million, Jared Dudley making $10 million, Steve Nash, Grant Hill, and all that. I said, y'all gotta pay me my salary in 6 months. And I never did that before.
You can only have that. Somebody said some players represent themselves. Yeah, some players are automatically max players. They're franchise players. You can do that when you the man. You could do that when you LeBron. You could do that when you Steph. You can do that when you Jordan, when you was Kobe. Jordan did, I think, like the first $30 million one-year deal, right? You can do that when you SGA. You could probably do that when you Cade, when you a franchise player. You could do that when you Joker. You do that when you Giannis. You do that when you Luka. Can't do that as the regular good guy. Everybody don't have that leverage. Everybody don't have that motion. You know what I'm saying? For the rest of us, we gotta play the game, and we gonna have to be likable, and we gonna have to make sure that we go and run a bag up that way, because people do things because they like you, not necessarily just because you're a good player. You know what I'm saying? They don't care about how you see it. They don't care about your perspective. They don't care about what you think. You know what I'm saying? If you're replaceable, this is a life lesson. This is not just about the NBA. This is life. If you are replaceable, you don't have the same leverage as a person that is a franchise player. It's levels. It's levels. This is life. A chick can get away with certain things with one guy. They can't get away with the same thing with another guy. You know why? And she'll walk out with a bad attitude of the dude that, you know what I'm saying, that it just don't mean anything. But to that nigga over there, okay, hold on. Give me a second. You know what? Let's talk about this. You know why? Everybody is not the franchise player. Everybody, you know why Dudley, I believe, got that contract? Y'all said he made 10 of him. You know why? Because he probably played the game and he probably was a good person to work with. And no matter what, you know what Jared Dudley was doing? He was at the end of the bench, whether he was playing or not. He was like, go team. Listen. Y'all got to watch the games. When you watch the games, watch the game. Don't just look at the highlights. Watch the games. Look at the players. And I think being at the game also immerses you a little bit more, because when the team score and beat the dude at the end of the bench, he do all of the jumping jacks. Nigga trying to make a roster for next year. What you talking about? He trying to get on a roster for next year. Oh, snaps. He's going up to dunk. Pumping up the crowd, nigga, on the end of the bench. Nigga, you got to play your role, boy. You got to play your position. Every time the timeout call, he the first one out there. No. We got this, guys. We got it. We gonna get there. That nigga getting paid. What you talking about? Everybody not gonna be the superstar. You gotta do what you gotta do. I see it happen on social media. It happened on social media. Real talk. I'll be thinking to myself, like, what's wrong with that nigga? All of my people around me, they can speak. They speak their mind. They say they be going off on me anytime, man. No, you wrong. Fuck you. I say, fuck you too. All right, big dog. Listen, man, what we got going on for tomorrow? Rest of these niggas, they got to get a position. They got to make sure that they got a spot.
So I can have bigger checks to get through the year and shit. And I'm thinking I got the $500,000 at the end of the year, no matter what. So they did that for me. So now when they give me that news, I'm not getting the $500,000. I'm just getting my last NBA check from them, and they're not gonna give me the $500,000. Boy, I was boo-hooing, arguing with them, went into arbitration with the agent and all that. That's how I got out the NBA. I ain't even have an agent going into that following season. But I'm on contract with Phoenix. They draft Kendall Marshall. Shout out to Kendall Marshall, but we get into the season. I'm looking around the locker room as a veteran now. I'm like, we draft Kendall Marshall. I'm looking at the rest of the team.
That's going to get you up out of the NBA.
Our superstar is Dragic. I'm like, what's going to happen is we're going to fall behind. We're not going to have a good record. And all they're going to say is, it's time to play our rookie. So I'm looking at that at the beginning of the season. I'm like, this is some bullshit. So that's kind of how my career kind of went. And next year I was in China after that.
Then you end up in China if you're not playing ball. You know what I'm saying? So anyways, make sure you guys hit a like for the algorithm, subscribe to the channel, and turn your notifications. Yeah, I need to post an updated time inside of the Patreon. And sometimes somebody said there's literally every sport. If you're not the main character, you're replaceable. I'll do you one better. Sometimes you're the main character until you're not. Sometimes a lot of people try to make themselves the main character for too long, and they forget that they're not the main character anymore. Can't keep living off your past. At some point, you got to realize, you know what? They don't They don't love me like they did back in the 80s. Oh, yeah. Yeah. All right, y'all, listen. Love. Life is good. We love y'all. We appreciate y'all. God continue to keep us safe throughout the day. Keep us held up in prayer. Bless us to be this successful. Bless us to be great. Bless us to continue to go through life with learned lessons that we can then apply, and then we can continue to be fruitful and to be successful in everything we do. We love you. We appreciate y'all. I will see a lot of y'all tonight on Patreon. All right. I'm going to holler at y'all later. Peace.